nonprofit elementary literacy program that travels school to school in the hopes of inspiring creative writing in students in elementary schools. And that's what we do. I go into schools and I help children write stories, and then we take a field trip to the local cable studio, and we have this television show called The Story Train. And they're going to read some of the stories that we work so hard on in class. They each finished a story. And first part of the show, on every show, I always have a guest speaker. And the guest speaker for today's show is Mr. Paul Kandarian, who is the regional editor of the Taunton Gazette. We all probably know him well. He's right here from your own hometown of Taunton. And so we'd like to have a nice round of applause for Mr. Kandarian. Go ahead. That's right. Come on up, Paul. That's it. And he's going to talk to you children today about being a writer and what it means and the whole writing process. So I'll give you the microphone, Mr. Kandarian.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And they're all yours.
Hey, guys, what's happening? Is this the same class I came to see the other day?
Yeah.
I thought you looked familiar. Who likes to write in here? Ooh. All right, what's the most important thing a writer can do? For what? What?
Think of an idea.
Well, that's good. That's good. One of the most important things you can do is write. Write a lot. Write everything. Write people letters. Write. You guys keep a diary? Yeah, that's cool. You keep a diary or a journal, whatever you want to call it. So you write stuff down all the time, and that's the best way to get good at writing, is just write stuff down. You know another important thing to do if you want to write? Read. Because the more stuff you read, you'll say, hey, that's pretty cool. I can try something like that. And the better idea you have of the stuff that you see out there, the more it can inspire you to write things, too. You know where to find ideas to write stories about? What?
Imagination?
Yeah, well, yeah. Imagination is the best thing you got going for you, especially when you're a kid. Kids have the best imaginations in the world, because when you grow old, your imagination kind of shrinks down because you got other things to think about, and it doesn't allow you to have as much imagination. But when you're a kid, you can imagine anything you want. It's a free reign. You go nuts, because you're all crazy anyway. And look around you. Whatever you do in your life is great things to write about. I noticed some of the stories you write about, like your pets, or baseball, what you like to do for a hobby, things like that. You can write stories about that. That's always a lot of fun. And somebody wrote a story about a giant cement man. Who's a cement guy? Oh, it was a big cement creatures from outer space. Well, granted, you don't see a lot of that in everyday real life at all. But that's where the imagination comes in. You can write about everything. There's stories around you at all times. Just look around, and there's always something to write about. What are you yawning for? Get some sleep. You guys got any questions about writing and stuff like that? Yeah.
How do you come up with the ideas to, like put them in the paper?
Oh, okay. I come up with ideas from all over the place, just what I just told you about. You just look around, and there's things to write about. People will call up with ideas. See, I write stories in the paper about people, places, things like that, and I also write a column every week. That's where you can get a lot of imagination comes in, because I just write a humor column. So I get to make fun of things. That's a lot of fun. I get just to be funny for once a week is a lot of fun. But there's a million things out there you can write stories about. I write stories about, like, the Christmas parade the other day. We write stories about what goes on at City Hall, and we get stories from a wire service that comes in. We use those stories too. But locally, there's 50,000 people in the city, and everybody's got a story to tell. So there's no shortage of stories. So you just look around, think about, oh, I could write a story about this or that. I told you guys the other day, every once in a while, you can just look through the phone book, find people with interesting occupations, and you can do a story about that. See, the stories that we do in the paper are different from what you guys are doing, because we do nonfiction. That's stories about real things, and, that's true stories about people, places, things. What you guys are doing is fiction, which is you make up stories. And that's cool. That's where imagination comes in, because you just go positively wacky and just write about anything you want. What else? Anybody else got any writing style questions? Yo.
Do you edit?
Oh, yeah, that's my main job. I edit other people's stuff. And that's where I get to be kind of like a teacher. So I get to, like, cross stuff out. Well, you do it on the computer, but you get to tell people how they could make the stories a little bit better. Except in the newsroom, it's a lot different than being in a class, I think, because there's deadlines. You have to do it, like, right there, one after another after another. So you get to yell and scream at people. I guess it is kind of like being a teacher. But yes, I edit heavily.
Do you have imagination?
I think so. I am basically a child just like you. I just happen to have a big body and a bald head. Yes, you never lose your imagination. A lot of people do. A lot of people grow up and they kind of lose their... Oh, yeah. Can't you tell? People grow up and they tend to lose their sense of imagination, and you shouldn't do that. Everybody's got a little bit of a child in them, and they should always leave it there. And you guys are perfect. What are you, third grade? Poof. Fourth?
No.
Hey, make up your mind. You don't even know what grade you're in? You're never going to graduate. Sorry. All right. So, yeah, you have the perfect age for imagination. As you get older, you get to use it a little bit more and more. So just never lose sight of the fact that we're all basically children, huh? That's why I'd make a really bad teacher. Any other questions about writing?
You like editing?
Yeah, I like to write more than edit. But yet, when you write, you have to edit your own stuff, too. So I don't know if the teacher told you that. You write a first draft. You guys have a rough draft? So you just go, you know, yeah. You just go nuts and you just write out stuff, and you use a computer or your hand or whatever. You just write stuff down and write out the story. And just kind of get it out of your system like that and just get it down. And then you go back and edit it. You go over it, make it a little bit better and a little bit better. But you don't want to edit it too much. If you go over the same thing again and again and again and again, you tend to be a little too critical and you might like polish it too much. So you just go over it, a few times, make it say, yeah, that looks pretty good, and then just put it away or give it to somebody else or just turn it in. So you don't want to edit too much. I got one of those too. You got a cough too? Oh, I hate this time of year. Who else got a question? Maybe? No, she already had that. That's okay. Yeah.
How do you come up with ideas?
Oh, it's just, like I said, everybody's got stories. There's stories all over. Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been a writer?
Since I was your age.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I didn't get into this until I was way old, until like 13, 14 years ago. But when I was little like you guys, I used to write stories. What did I write about? I made up a story about a whole family of kangaroos once. I think I was in the 3rd, 4th grade. And I just wrote it like chapter after chapter. And it was like really, really cool. And I still wish I had that around, but I didn't. I threw it away. But so technically I started when you, like, about your age. And then I just didn't do it for a while. I did a million other things. Then, like I said, 13, 14 years ago, I kind of fell into this. And I said, well, this kind of seems to be working, so I'll do this as long as they keep paying me. And they do.
Do you like being an editor?
Yeah, yeah. See, where I work, I can be an editor and a writer and a photographer because it's a small paper. We do a lot of stuff. So, yeah, I do. I really do like it. Who hasn't asked yet? Yeah, yeah.
Is it like, do you get tired from it, edit it and stuff?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, writing can be very, very, it's time intensive and it gives you a brain drain, because you got to use your head a lot. You don't use your body a lot, but you use your head a lot, which can make you really, really tired and really sleepy. So, yeah.
Who taught you how to write?
Nobody. Just kind of taught myself. See, I didn't have the benefit, what you guys do. You go through this process of Mrs. Cacciatore's program, and this is great. We didn't have this when we were kids. We studied in caves by campfires. No, honestly, there was dinosaurs and it was horrible. You guys don't believe that, do you? All right. Cowboys and Indians? No, we didn't have any of this formal training those people seem to have today. We just kind of had to wing it. And I didn't have any education for it either. I just went to school for a bunch of other stuff. And I just did it. Like I said, the best education for writers is to write. Just keep writing. Write everything down. You all done?
Yes, that was
a fast 6 minutes.
It was. Doesn't it? Yeah, we're having fun. See that?
Oh,
one more question. All right, one more question.
Go ahead.
Do you have a computer to like write the stories that you make over and edit them like while you're...
Yeah, I got a computer at home. We got computers at work too, and it's a lot easier to write. You guys type? You use computers? Yeah, you really learn to type. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, you use a computer, learn to type, because that's the best way to do it. And ask all your parents for a big computer for Christmas. It's not too late. It's a lot of money, but it's not mine.
All those parents are just going to love you,
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Kandarian. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Nice round of applause for Mr. Kandarian. Yes, you can clap for yourself, too. Okay. Okay, I'm gone. Thank you, Mr. Kandarian. Boy, that was very interesting, huh? Boy, if someone knows a lot about writing, I guess it would be an editor from a newspaper, huh? Right? He deals a lot with every day with, that's his job. He just writes every day and he edits and he understands the process of writing. It isn't really just the very first draft. You have to rewrite and rewrite a couple of times anyway to get it just the way you want it, right? For everyone at home, if I don't know if I said my name at the beginning. My name is Mrs. Cacciatore. So I just want to make that clear. And right now we're going to move right along into the best part of the show, and that's where the children read us their stories that we work so hard on in class. And my very first reader, I'm going to sit down. My very first reader is right here with this nice striped shirt on, Daniel Crossman. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Good.
Oh, good. Here, move up, right up here. That's good. And I'm going to hand you your story, and you take that and turn it over and give me the pictures that you have inside. That's right. I'll take this one, these two, and you turn that over. And he's got nice illustrations on this side, and he's going to read his story. And the name of your story is?
The Train.
Ooh, nice and loud. And would you like to say hello to?
Hi, Mom.
Oh, very good. Okay. And then, okay, and you can go right ahead.
One day I found myself very, very small. I wanted to go to the library, so I climbed into my toy train and chugged away. But my toy train had no steering wheel. I headed straight for the wall. I closed my eyes and magically a steering wheel appeared. I steered the train away from the wall and right out the front door. I chugged off to the library. When I got there, I put my book about trains in my cargo car so I could learn more about trains. Then I put some coal into the train's engine and chugged off for home. I parked my toy train on the toy tracks and I grew back to my regular size. I had so much fun, I wish it would happen again.
Very good, Daniel. That was wonderful. Let's have a nice round of applause for Daniel. Stay right here. You did a good job. You did. You were a little nervous. Yes, you did wonderfully. Look at all that. You read that. Let's see now. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take some questions for Daniel, right? We have 3 questions that we're going. You ready for your questions? All right, Mr. Author. Okay, yeah.
How small were you?
Oh, that's a good question. How small were you? Oh, my goodness. That's really small. Okay. Question?
How did he get small at the beginning?
Oh, do you know how you got small?
No.
Move up here a little bit so that they can see you. Move up. Okay. You don't know how you got small? It just happened one day, right? You just woke up and there you were. Another question?
How come your train didn't have a steering wheel?
Because it had tracks.
Because it was just always on tracks, and when he was big, he would steer it from the big people's place, right? But when it was little, it had no one to steer it, so it magically needed a steering wheel, right? All right, Daniel. Daniel did a wonderful job. Let's see his illustration real quick. See, there's his trains right there, right? And he has one right here. We'll show everybody at home, right? Okay, good job. Let's have a nice round of applause for Daniel. Oh, you did wonderfully. Oh, good. Let's see, and we'll put this right here. And we'll move right on to our next reader. And our next readers are Megan and Amanda. Come on up. Come on over here. Did you move back a little bit, honey? So that they can have enough room. Because they have to steer. Who's going to read the story? Or you're going to share, right? Okay. Come on, you got to come up a little bit right here. And you come over here. Right up here. Okay. No. Move back a little bit, honey. Okay, that's good. All right. And the name of your story is? Oh, a little bit louder.
Willie the Bookworm.
And who would you like to say hello to?
My mom, my sister, and my dad.
Oh, nice. And you?
My mom
Go ahead, open it.
and my dad.
Oh, very nice. Okay, and you're going to hold this picture right now? Okay. And the story is Willie the Bookworm. Okay. Nice and loud.
Once upon a time, there was a bookworm named Willie who lived in the library with his sister Sandy. They lived in a special book called Mother Goose's Nursery Rhymes, but they had one big problem. Willie had eaten all the pages in their house. His sister said, "Now where are we? Where will we live?" Willie said, "Don't worry, sister. Be happy." So they started to look for a new home in the library.
Okay, now do you switch now? Okay. And you can hold this picture. Now, just go like this. Go ahead.
They found one, but it was too scary.
They found another, but it was too weird, so they decided to look in the nursery rhyme section. Sandy said, Willie, I think this is the book we have been looking for all along. Willie said, you're right, let's stay here in this great book of poems. So Willie decided not to eat all the pages of this book, and they always had somewhere to live.
Oh, wow, good for them, huh? Let's see, let's have a nice round of applause for Megan and Amanda. Yes, and hold up your illustrations. See that? Oh, you guys colored those really nice. Wow, I'm glad that they still have somewhere to live. He's got to curb that appetite of his, doesn't he? Oh, my goodness. Do we have questions? Let's see. Oh, good, right here, Don.
Where did they live in the first book?
Oh, what was the name of the first book? What was the name of the first book?
Mother Goose's Nursery Rhymes.
Mother Goose's Nursery Rhymes. Remember they said that? Yeah, Barry, did you have a question? Yeah, come on over here.
Whose nursery rhymes were these?
Oh, was it a nursery rhyme? Here, I don't want to get, you come up here so I can put the microphone behind her. Was it a nursery rhyme book again?
It was just a book of poems, like.
Okay, it was a book of poems. One more question? Okay.
Why did Willie eat all the pages?
That's a good question.
Because he was hungry?
Because he was famished. He was starving, right? Now, I have a question for you. Why wasn't he hungry anymore? Why wouldn't he be eating the pages out of this book?
Because he loved the book so much.
Because he... Well, that's a good answer, because he loved that book so much, and he was very afraid that his sister would get mad at him, right, and leave him. So he decided not to eat all the pages if they were home. Very good. Let's have a nice round of applause for Megan and Amanda. Very good. Okay, you kids can sit down. You did... How was that? That was okay, right? Yes, we did good. Right. Put this right down here. And we'll move right on to our next readers. Let's see who's next on my list. Barry, over there. Come on, Barry. You can do it. Okay. How are you today, Barry? Good. Nice shirt, nice green striped shirt. Okay. And the name of your story is?
The Mixed Up Nursery Rhymes.
Very good. Now let's open your book and fold it the way we practiced. Okay. And would you like to say hello to anyone at home?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that was nice. Okay. Oh, let's have it. Did we clap yet? Let's have a nice round of applause for Barry. All right. Okay, you ready? Nice and loud.
One day, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. On the way up, they met Humpty Dumpty. Do you want to go fetch a pail of water with us? Asked Jack and Jill. He said, sure, I'll go with you. So the three continued up the hill. Then they came across someone jumping over a candle. His name was Jack Be Nimble. And then they met a girl named Mary, and she had a cute lamb with her and also a staff. She touched everyone with the staff, and they all changed with what they were doing. Humpty Dumpty got the pail of water. Jill jumped over the candle, and Jack sat on Humpty Dumpty's wall. An hour went by, and they were all bored, and they missed doing their own rhyme. Mm-hmm. So they asked Mary, could we please go back and be our own selves? So Mary touched them, and they all went back to normal.
Oh, very good. Wow, that was a wonderful story. Here, hold up your illustration. See that? I want to show everyone at home what a nice drawer you are. See that? Now, Barry worked very hard on his story. He used great imagination trying to mix up all those nursery rhymes that he had thought of, right? I thought that was a great idea for a story. Let's see, do we have some questions for Barry? Oh, good. Oh, let's see, Daniel.
How did you think of making a story with nursery rhymes?
Isn't that a good idea? I thought that was what made you think of using that idea?
Well, I've read nursery rhymes since I was a little kid, when I was about 5, so I know all about them. So my teacher told me, only make stories that you know about, so you can tell lots about them. So that's how.
Wow, that's a good answer. Perfect.
How did Mary make them do different stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Well, her staff was like magical, so it would like spread like some gold when she touches them. Then they then they would get hypnotized in some way, then they would do different jobs.
Very good. One more question. Oh, okay, over here. 'Cause we have-
Where were they? Like, what town were they
Were they
in?
all living in?
I don't
Where do the nursery rhymes usually live, don't they? Isn't there a place called Mother Goose's Nursery Land or something like that? Isn't that where they live? What is it? Oh, maybe they know the book from the last story. Oh, no. Maybe Willie the Bookworm was eating all the rhymes from this story. Oh, you can't let him do that. Remember? That's what they were talking about. What land? It's Mother Goose Land. Isn't that where they live?
Yeah, I guess.
Good. But that's using your imagination, that's for sure. Let's have a nice round of applause for Barry. Good job. Okay, you can sit down. Wow, we're moving right along. This is so much fun. These children have worked so hard on these stories. I've been going into the school for about 3 weeks. We had our first ideas, remember? And these are the finished product. Now these, we had to revise these quite a few times, remember? Do you remember revising what it was like? And you've got perfect stories. Let's see, I have one more reader for this half of the story train, and I would like to call up Chris. Come on, Chris. Oh, what a nice striped shirt. Oh, they all look so pretty and handsome today. Dressed up so nice. Oh, good. Let's see. This is your story? Oh, very good. And the name of your story is?
A Tiny Miracle.
Oh, nice and loud. And would you like to say hello to anyone at home?
Yeah,
Who?
my grandmother.
Your grandmother. Okay, say hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Oh, very nice. Okay, well, we'll open this, and I'll hold this one, I guess, for you. Here, and turn it this way. Oh, let go of this side. Watch. Okay, that's better. And that way they can see something at home while you're reading, and I'll hold this one. Ah! If I can hold onto it. Okay. And the name of your story?
A Tiny Miracle.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a little tree
Okay.
named Max.
Mhm.
He had 9 friends who were all trees too. They were all very happy except for one problem. Every year at Christmas time, the forest filled up with people. The people all came to the forest for one thing, a Christmas tree. So all the trees decided to have a meeting about all the people cutting down the trees. They figured out a way to stop it. They made a sign with permanent ink that said, "No cutting down the trees in this part of the forest." That made the people think about what they were doing. They decided to use fake trees for Christmas.
Ooh. They came up with a solution to that problem, huh? Oh, nice round of applause for Chris. Good job reading. All right, well, hold up your pictures. No, because you work so hard on the pictures. Here. Yeah, you can just hold it just like that, and we'll show everyone your illustrations. See that? And want to describe a little bit? Because these trees look a little bit angry, don't you think?
I didn't get to really do nine of them
Right.
because I didn't have enough room.
But they were trying to play tricks on the people to get them out of the forest, huh? Right. Let's see, do we have some questions for Chris? Oh, look at all the hands that went up, Chrissy. You ready? Okay, let me just put this here. You want to hold your story and let me get 3 questions, Barry.
Why are the trees mad? Because when the people cut them down, they're going to a nice home. Instead of out in the woods.
The trees are going to a nice home.
Because they don't like getting cut down.
Because when they get cut down, yes, they go to a nice home, but what happens to them approximately 3 weeks later?
They die.
Yes, they do.
What was Max's friend's name?
Oh, the 9 friends? Well, he had a whole bunch of names, but he had a lot of names he named every single friend, right?
Where's Max?
Where is Max on your picture?
Max.
Is on this one?
He's on the
Okay,
other one.
all right, let's get him. Don't leave out Max.
He's right here.
Oh, this is Max with the red eyebrows. That's good. That's very good,
I
Chris.
was going to do that to this one too, but I didn't have enough time.
You didn't have enough time. Well, you did good, just that you drew 2 illustrations. Wow. Let's have a nice round of applause for Chris. That was wonderful. Wow, we fit 4 stories in this first half of the story train. I think I have enough time to talk to you children just a little bit about the 5 steps of writing that we learned in class. Does everybody remember what those are? Or kind of remember some of them? Yes? What was the very... You do? Good. What's the very first step of writing? And everyone at home, these are things that all you children at home, these are things that you can do at home to get a perfect story every time if you follow these steps. What's the very first thing?
Think of an idea.
Yes, you have to come up with your very first idea, right? You have to find some way to think of something, and a good way to write a story is to think of something that you know something about. So you have to come up with your very first idea. That's the very first step of writing. What's number 2? What do you think? Okay.
Think of characters.
Close. That's part of the story. That's the other part of the stuff that we learned.
Drafting.
Yes, the first draft, right? Remember the very first draft that you have? Was it very neat? Was it as neat as these are? They were neat. Didn't we have to cross out a lot of words? Your very first draft? Didn't we have to cross out a lot of words?
Yeah.
And then we had to do what? What did we have to do once we crossed out all those words?
Rewrite.
Oh, that's great, Barry. Okay, it's always a nice one. They remember. So we have first idea, then we have rough draft, then we have rewrite or revision. That's when you rewrite your story, right? Okay, and then we have, what's number 4? Do you remember what number 4 is?
Editing.
Editing is part of revision.
The setting.
That's part of the story, but we have to proofread, right? Proofread. Oh, see, they knew that, right? I know you knew that. And what's the very last thing that we want to do? Yes, Barry? Say it nice and loud.
Publish.
And what have we done here today with some of the stories? Have we?
We
Yes, you were going to say it.
we read.
No, we...
Yeah, we published them.
Nice and loud.
We published them.
Oh, we are what kind of authors? Say it nice and loud. Oh, that's very good. I'm so glad you remembered. Published authors right here because you got to read your stories to someone. That's all that it means to be published, is that you share your story or the things that you write with someone, your grandmother, your mother, your father, your friends. That's what writing is all about. So, I'd like to thank this half of Mrs. Moras's 3rd grade class for being with me here today, and thank you for sharing the stories. We'll be back in a minute just with the second half of her class, because we can't all fit here in the studio at the same time. So we need to do this. So everybody say, wave. Don't get up, just wave. And we'll be right back.
Math, a 4-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that. Why design the world's newest chips? When you could be flipping the world's oldest burgers. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. Geometry, algebra. No pocket protectors here. But you're cruising without math. You're right. Take a good look. That's math staring back at you. It's not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
Do you think you have the power to change the world?
I can change the world one child at a time.
I know I can make a difference in those children's lives.
I teach.
I teach. Yes, they're teachers, but to the kids they reach, they're heroes.
I teach.
Do you have the power to wake up young minds, to be someone's hero? Teach, to make an impact on our future. Call 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Welcome back to the second half of the story train. Give yourselves a nice round of applause. Yes, nice and loud. I'm joined here with the second half of Miss Moras's 3rd grade class from the Hopewell Elementary School, right here in good old Taunton. So we're going to move right. What we were doing in the first half was reading some wonderful stories. We had a nice special guest visit by Mr. Paul Kandarian from the Taunton Gazette. And right now, what I'd like to do is this show for the Hopewell School was sponsored by the employees and the staff and the store of Walmart's in Rainham. They were so generous to sponsor this show and make it possible for me to come into the schools and for us to take the field trip over here to the studio. So I would like to call up Barbara, who is a sales associate She's a sales associate from Walmart's over in Rainham, and I would just like to say thank you so much to Walmart's and to the employees for sponsoring the show today. The children did really good with their stories. As you can see, you've been here listening to their stories.
Yes, I
Hope
have.
you're enjoying yourself.
Yes, I am.
Yes, she is. Let's have a nice round of applause for Barbara. Kids love to clap.
They love it.
Is there any? Go ahead, you can hold it right up there. Yep.
Okay, first of all, I
Yeah.
want to say to you kids, you did an excellent job.
Yes, they did.
And Walmart believes in kids learning, okay? They believe in helping the community in every way possible. But before I leave, I have to say a special hi to all the group back at Walmart. First of all, to Jan in Fabrics and Crafts. I have Laurie in Domestics. I have June. I have my assistant manager, Maureen, another assistant manager, Judy, and a special hi to the store manager, Mark, because without him, all of you kids wouldn't be here today. So I want to thank you all, and I hope you keep on doing such a good job.
Oh, that was wonderful, Barbara. That was great. Sounds like Walmart's has one big family, huh?
It's a happy family. Yes, it is.
What a wonderful opportunity for the kids.
It
them.
is.
This is great that this
And I know they all have been at Walmart.
That's right. They all know. That's right.
So you all have a nice holiday.
That's good.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Barbara. Good. Round of applause for Barbara. That was wonderful that Walmart sponsored the show. I just think it was just so generous of them to go ahead and get this to happen for you, and we work so hard on our stories. What I would like to share at home with everybody at home is that the story train is also on the internet. So if anyone has some stories that they would like to write in, the address of the show will be on at the end of the address will be on at the end of the show. But you can also look up the story train on the internet, and there's a place for children to have their stories published on the World Wide Web, which is so exciting. The internet address will also be on at the end of the show, so look for it if you have access to the internet, because it's a real cute site, fashioned after an old-fashioned locomotive. Have you kids seen the site? Have you gone down and looked at it at school? Not yet. Some of you have. You've looked it up at home, right? Yep, that's right. So what I think we'll do right now is start right away with the stories, because the kids are so anxious to get them to share these with everyone here. First on my list is Stan. Come on over, Stan. Yes, nice round of applause. That's good. That's right. How are you today, Stan?
Good.
Good. And why don't you come up a little bit closer up here? Okay. Further right there. Okay, put your feet together. And is there anyone at home that you would like to say hello to? Getting all tangled. There's no one at home. Your mother, your father? Oh, no. Now they're going to watch this show and they're going to say, oh, boy, you didn't want to say hi to us. Okay. Is this your story? The name of your story is?
The Bears Who Saved Christmas.
Oh, that was nice and loud. Okay, and then turn it this way. There you go. Nice and loud.
Once there were two stuffed bears who lived in a cabin with a little boy named Stan. Stan didn't have a Christmas tree, and he was sad because he wanted to decorate it. One Christmas Eve, while Stan was sleeping, two stuffed bears snuck out of the cabin to get a Christmas tree for Stan in the woods.
In the woods.
They met a beaver with big, sharp teeth named Red. They told Red about Stan, and he agreed to help them. They found just the right tree, and Red cut it down with his sharp teeth. The three of them dragged the tree back to the cabin and decorated it for Stan. The two stuffed bears watched as Stan woke up on Christmas and found his decorated tree. What a wonderful Christmas for Stan.
Good job, Stan. You did a good job. Look at his nice picture here. Yes, is this the cabin? That's the cabin? And who, is that the Christmas tree, or is that someone there inside the window?
That's Stan, and
Okay,
the
hold it out
Christmas
here.
tree's right here.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold it up. Oh, Stan and the Christmas tree. Oh, I see. Now, while we heard the story, can we think of any questions for Stan? Good. Oh, see that? You ready for some questions? Yep.
What was the two bears' names?
You gotta talk now.
They didn't have any names.
Wait a minute.
They didn't have any names.
They didn't have any names. When he can do that because he's the writer. Yes, did you have a question?
How did you come up with the beaver's name?
The beaver's name, the beaver named Red, that's right.
Because his tail was red.
Oh, that's good thinking. Did you have a question, Kathleen? Okay.
How did they get it back to the house?
Wait a minute. Okay.
They just dragged it.
All right. Was it very heavy?
Yeah.
Was it a huge Christmas tree or kind of huge?
Kind of huge.
Kind of. Just heavy enough for them to be able to carry it back, right? Yes. Okay, well, let's have a nice round of applause for Stan. Sure you don't want to say hi to your mother? All right. Your grandmother? Second cousin? Friend? Okay. All right. Let's see. That was... Put that right down there, and we'll move right on to our next story. Who's my next reader? Over there in the back was dying to read his story. It's Michael and Sean together. Come on. Oh, what a nice sweater. Is that new?
No.
Oh, well, it looks so handsome. Oh, and you look so handsome, too. Let's see. Let's get their story. No, which story you had? This one, right? Okay. Yes, you did. Here, now, hold this for a second. Let me put this down. I'm going to set you guys right up. Who's reading the story first? Okay, so why don't you come over here, and you go over here, and you got to come up over here. That's right. Fold that like we practiced. Okay. And would you like to say hello to somebody?
Hi, Mommy. Hi, Daddy.
Nice and loud.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Oh, that was better. Okay. And?
My mom, my dad, and my brother.
Oh, see that, how nice it is to say hello. If you change your mind, I'll let you come up. You just come right up and say hello to your mom and dad. All right, Stan. And the name of your story is nice and loud.
The fries.
That's loud. Okay. Loud. Go ahead.
The fries.
Good.
Once upon a time, there was a boy named Bill who loved to eat at Burger King. He loved all the food, but he especially liked the fries, the French fries. One day, Bill was eating his fries when all of a sudden, the fries began to talk. Don't eat us, they said. Bill told everyone, but no one believed him. The next week, Bill was at Burger King again, and the fries started talking to him. Don't eat us, they said again. Bill tried to tell his mom, but she didn't believe him. She got mad and they went home.
Right. Now we're making the big switch. Oh, okay. And why don't we switch places so I don't have to reach over in front of you? Okay, I don't want to block that beautiful face. Come on up here. All righty. Hold your picture. Okay, go ahead.
The next morning, Bill looked out the window and saw a stampede of flies running down the street. People were chasing them, and the flies were shouting, "Stop eating us." Now everyone believed Bill, and he decided to only eat fries at McDonald's.
That's so funny. Yes, let's have a nice round of applause. That was a funny story. Let's see if we have any questions. I'm sure we do. Look at all these boards here. Okay, Stan, you have a question.
How did you come up with the idea to write about Burger King?
Right in the microphone.
It's because, me and Sean, we just thought about Burger King's fries because I'm sure that Sean's went to Burger King before, right? My brother used to work at Burger King.
Oh,
Did you like it? Yeah. I'm just asking him.
You should. I think that's wonderful.
So, I guess me and Sean just liked Burger King, so we just came up with the idea of fries.
Oh, very good. And another question? Yes?
Was Bill scared when the stampede of fries came to his house?
Oh, was Bill scared when he saw the stampede?
He was surprised.
Very surprised, I bet. Let's try to imagine that for a second. In our houses, on our very own street, wherever we live in Taunton. And we look out the window, and what do we see? A stampede of French fries running down the street, yelling at everyone, stop eating us. Yes.
Why, I mean, how did they come alive?
How did they? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. It just happened one day.
It was a revolt by the French fries of Burger King.
I think maybe because they didn't cook the fries, and I guess when they didn't cook them, something happened. And
Something
they just came
very
alive.
strange happened, huh? What do you think? Here, move up a little bit. Up here, honey. Okay, go ahead.
I think that they're alive already, and no one knew that. They kept eating the flies, but the flies got mad because everybody kept eating them. They got sick of people eating them, so they told all the people not to eat them no more.
Well, and one more thing, Michael?
This is weird because I'm just saying, how come if they were eating the fries, I mean, I shouldn't be asking this.
No, let's...
Go
ahead, honey.
But how come the fries didn't tell the people when they were eating them?
That's right. You know what? Now, that's a question. When I write my stories, I try to think of questions that come into my mind about what the people who are reading or listening to would want to know. And you might want to add that into your story and try and answer that question. Let's have a nice round of applause for Michael and Sean. Well, I'll just put it like this. That's fine. We had our nice illustrations here. See those illustrations, huh? See that? Oh, they did a great job. Oh, this is so much fun. I love these stories. Who's next on my list? Let me see. I have both lists from the first half and the second half. Let's see. I have Matt and David. Come on down. Let me fix these cords. Oh, this is just a blast. And the name of your story, which story do you have? Oh, good. I have the correct order. Got to have some order. Okay. Who's reading first?
I am.
Okay. So why don't you stand over here first, and you stand on that side of him. Okay? And we're going to fold the story like we practiced, and you hold this, and you hold that. And is there someone that you'd like to say hello to, please?
I want to say hi to the dog.
To your dog. What's your dog's name?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. Okay, move up. And who would you like to say hi to?
My family.
Your family out there. Say hi, family.
Hi, family.
Very good. And the name, you're doing good. That's all right, but you got to stay up here so that they can get you on the camera over there. Okay, and the name of your story is?
The Alien Teacher.
Oh, okay.
By Matthew Kiefer, illustrated by David Marshall.
Oh, very good. Okay.
One day, Luke and Tim were running down the hall in school. They saw the science teacher taking off his mask. Underneath was an alien face. The face was green with 3 eyes and a bumpy head. Luke and Tim were scared, and they ran down the hall screaming. The next day, they brought their super soaker water guns to school filled with cement. They squirted the alien's whole body, and he froze solid, just like a cement sidewalk. Then an alien in a spaceship came down into the schoolyard and beamed up their science teacher, who was now frozen cement. Who was now a frozen cement alien. At last, the school was safe again, thanks to Luke and Tim.
Oh, thank goodness. Wow, nice round of applause, please. Hello, hello, they did a great job. There's it. Wow, thank God the school was safe again. Let's see these illustrations. Is that what the alien teacher looks like?
This is the alien, and he's blocking the kid's face where he doesn't see him.
I see, I see. And you have your illustrations over here? Yes, would you like to tell me what they are? Oh, you've got a lot. Let's turn it this way. No. Okay, go ahead.
The kids are running away, and then they ran home screaming monster, and they squirted the alien with cement, and the school was safe.
Oh, the school was safe again, thank heavens. Okay, let's see if we have some good questions. Let's see. Okay, wait a minute, Mike.
How did you get your idea?
How did you come up with the idea for this story?
Move
up.
From the movie Star Wars, there's a couple aliens, so we took some aliens from that. Then we took the idea, so we put it in the story.
So he used things that he already knew about. Do you have a question?
What planet are the aliens from?
Oh, that's a good question. Any idea? Can you think of one? Have you thought of that yet? You have? You know.
Mars.
They're from Mars? Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Because they wrote these stories together. Whenever you see a story with 2 children up here, that means that they worked on their stories together. They brainstormed together and they came up with their ideas.
What day was it?
What day was what? The day of what?
When the alien attacked.
What day was it? Like the day of the week, you mean? Wow, that could be significant. What day was it?
December 1st.
December 1st. All right, one more question. Michael?
How did you know how to kill the alien?
Move up. You're going back too far. Oh, nice shoes. Those are slick.
Well, the alien just doesn't like cement because the planet they're from, whenever they go near cement, they freeze up.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, but how did they know that he didn't like cement?
They just tried.
They figured out that cement, if it hits anything and then that thing doesn't move, then it'll be all dried up.
That's right. They used their imagination. They thought this out carefully, you see. So let's have a nice round of applause. What was it? What's your name again?
Huh?
What's your name?
Matthew.
And?
David.
For Matthew and David. Thank you, Matthew and David. Okay, you can have a seat. Yes?
You're welcome.
Oh, wasn't that nice? I'm very welcome, he said. Okay, let's see. Oh, we're moving right along with our stories here. And having a lot of fun, aren't we? Isn't this nice to share your stories? Isn't it fun? And to hear your friends read their stories? Let's see, I have one more story for this half. And, who is it, Terry and Jen? Who said Jen? Good, come on up. Terry and Jen. Thank you, Michael. You're such a big help in class, this little boy over here, Michael. Hello, girls. Oh, don't they look lovely? Look at those nice dresses. Wowee. Here, move up, okay? And is there someone you'd like to say hello to?
Hi, Mom.
Please?
Hi, Dad.
Oh, thank you. Yes?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, everyone. She just wants to say hi to everyone, you see. That's good. Doesn't want to forget no one. All right. And the name of your story is?
The Dark Sky.
Oh, say it into the microphone.
The Dark Sky.
Very good. Okay. Oh, and we have who's gonna? You're both gonna read, or only one? She's gonna read. You're gonna hold this picture. Okay. Now you have to come up here. That's it. I love your dress. These look so pretty. Okay.
Dark sky. Once there was a sun, a moon, and a star. The sun was bright and shiny, while the moon
was in dark.
The
moon and the star.
While the moon and the star were in darkness. The moon and the star were in darkness because a dark sun cloud had floated in front of the sun and made it nighttime.
Nice and loud. A little bit louder.
Then the star ran out from behind the cloud and sparkled with a smiling shine. Finally, the cloud stopped blocking the flaming fire brightness of the sun. The sun, the moon, and the star all stopped fighting and became friends, and they never fought again.
Wow, thank goodness for all the planets in the solar system. Otherwise, we might lose the sun. Let's have a nice round of applause. Yes. Oh, and nice illustration. And what's this illustration about? Yeah.
The sun, the moon, and the star, and this is the dark sun cloud. It's above the sun, moon, and the star.
It looks like an eclipse. Has anyone ever seen an eclipse? We just had one, I think, not too long ago, right? And what happened, the moon, does anyone remember what happened? It was at nighttime. The moon got covered over. Do you remember? And so what's your picture about?
It's the sun brightening.
Oh, the brightness of the sun? Isn't that pretty? So let's see, do we have some questions here? Yes, Michael. Here. Nice and loud.
Jen and Terry, how did you come out with the idea?
Okay. Okay. Who's going to speak? Here, you got to come up here so that they can see you. Okay, good. How did you come up with the idea for the story?
Well, I came up with the star and the moon and the sun, and she liked it when we came up with the ideas, so we made a story about it.
So you work together on these ideas, huh? Isn't that nice how stories start like that? Someone will have one idea, and then someone will have another idea. Yes?
Did you guys both do the illustrations?
Oh, did you both do the illustrations?
Yep.
You did this one?
I did this one.
I did coloring on this one.
See that? They work together on this story. Yes, back there. Now come up here so you can, otherwise we won't hear you.
Did the three characters have any names?
Oh. The sun, the moon, and the star, that? Okay. Did they have names? Did you name them? No? They were just the sun, the moon, and the star, right? And the sun cloud. So how many characters are in the story, actually? It's a pretty short story, but how many characters are there?
4.
4 characters, right? Right? Wow, that's a lot. That's a pretty complicated story for a short story. Wow. Well, let's have a nice round of applause for Jen and, who was it, Michael? Huh? Jen and Terry, that's right. Oh, they did a wonderful job. Okay, you kids can sit down. Oh, wow, that was so much fun. what I think we still have time for, what I would like to do, is, do we have time to brainstorm a story? Yeah, we do? Want to do that? Remember we did that in class? Yes, let's. We're going to make up a really funny story. Huh? Slappy? Remember we made up that story about Slappy in class? All right, what we're going to do, now, because we're going to be talking really quickly, usually I talk really quickly, I'll be handing the microphone really quickly to you, so we're going to try and just see what we can do with this. Brainstorming is when more than one person comes up with ideas for a story. I'm explaining this to them at home, Michael. So that's what that is. So when I go into class, we brainstorm a whole class story in like 5 minutes. And we're going to have about 4 minutes to brainstorm a story. So let's see. We don't have much time. That's all right. That's okay. Let's see. Who has a word? That's okay. Oh, good. All right, right here.
Buttons for the name.
Buttons. Okay, the name of the character is Buttons. What is the character? All right, now you got to talk into the microphone.
The bear.
He's a bear? Okay. Buttons is a bear. Oh, that's cute. Buttons the bear. I like it already. And where is Buttons?
In the trash.
In the trash? Poor Buttons. Okay. All right, that's all right. In the trash where? Where is this trash barrel?
In the backyard of his dad. He used to have.
In the backyard of his father's house?
Yes.
Okay, there's a trash barrel out in the back. Well, gee, the first thing that came into my mind was, how did Buttons get in the rubbish? Go ahead, Stan.
Because his buttons popped out.
Because his buttons popped off. Oh, poor Buttons had no more buttons. That's pretty bad. Man. Did his, who was his owner? All right, Michael. Talk nice and loud.
The brother, the boy. It was the guy that...
What was the name of the boy who owned him?
Josh.
Josh. Okay, Josh owned Buttons, and he threw him away because all of his buttons fell off. So he just thought he was just no good anymore. So poor Buttons was out in the rubbish at the father's house. And what happened to Buttons? What happened next? Come on.
It rained very hard.
It rained very hard, and what happened to Buttons when it rained?
He got all wet.
He got all wet and soggy, huh?
Soggy.
Pretty soggy. Or little Buttons. And then what happened? All right.
And then the wind blew on near a sewer, and he fell down the sewer.
Okay, maybe the wind blew really hard, knocked over the trash barrel, and all the rubbish got swept down the sewer? All right, so, and Buttons was part of the rubbish, so he got swept down the sewer, and then what happened to him? Oh, this is a great story. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. He got eaten by a crocodile.
He got eaten by a crocodile. No, that is not going to happen. No, that can happen sometimes. But for this particular story, we want something good to happen to Buttons because it's television, so we have to. Okay.
And Josh's brother, Brendan,
That's all right.
Barry.
Yep.
Barry.
Okay.
He was walking across the sewer, and then he found Josh's beer, and he said, and then he brought it home and he cleaned it off.
Okay. Okay, we'll stop there. Wait a minute. Okay. So we're going to have Brendan found Buttons. Barry found Buttons. Barry Buttons, that's right, Brendan. Okay, and he brought him home. And then what happened? What happened after that?
Josh saw him bringing it in the house.
He did, and was he mad or what did he think when he saw that? Wait a minute, let's get someone else. Okay.
He was happy.
He was very happy because he missed his little bear, right? All right, we just brainstormed a whole story. Now, if that was one person, do you think that you could have come up with all those ideas in 4 minutes? In 4 minutes. Yes, you could, Stan? Well, good for you. You're smart. See, that's what you need to do. Come up with, do you think you could have? I think it's kind of hard to get it's so much faster to brainstorm with people, with your friends or with your mother and father, because that way you can get more ideas real quickly and get it down on paper. And so that's what we do in class. So, let's see. Does anyone know the 4 parts of a story? Does anyone remember? We talked about this in class. Not the 5 steps of writing. We did that in the first half of the show. What are the 4 parts of a story? Do you remember, Stan, what the first part?
Brainstorming.
That brainstorming is part of kind of like the 5 steps. But the story itself, what are parts of a story? What
character?
You have to have a character. Now, we just did these parts for the story for Buttons, the bear. We had to come up with the character first. Then what did we have to know after?
The problem.
Well, that's the next one, though. But what's the next part that you need before the problem?
Setting.
Oh, wow, that was wonderful. also, it's always so nice when they remember. We have a character, we have the setting, we have
The problem.
and then what's the very last thing at the end? Wait a minute, you already, okay. Do you know what the end is? What's the very last thing? If you have a problem, you have to have a what? Do you know, Catherine?
Solution.
Oh, very good, Catherine. She knew that. Yes. The solution. So you have the solution. Those are the 4 parts of a story. So if you have those 4 parts to any story, you'll have a perfect story. You have your character. You can have more than one character, right? Okay? You can have your setting. It can be anywhere in the entire world, right? Where is an interesting setting for characters?
Under the sea at Atlantis.
Oh, that's a good one. Wow, that makes me imagine stuff. Atlantis would be a good setting for a story.
At SeaWorld.
Oh, at SeaWorld, that's right.
The Bahamas.
Oh, that would be great right about now, wouldn't it? I'd like to, spend the holidays in the Bahamas. Okay.
Africa.
Africa, yep, that's a big continent, yep.
A long time when the dinosaurs lived.
That's a good setting, too. Oh, these are great places where we could make up stories.
Alaska.
Alaska. Go ahead, talk into this. Go ahead.
And other planets.
Oh, outer space, huh? That's always very popular with this grade setting.
Hawaii.
Yep. Hawaii, I love it. Where else?
Disney.
Disney World, yes. Oh, these kids got great imaginations. Just think of the stories you kids could write.
Florida.
Yes, Florida. One more, yep.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's nice. Where else would you like to start your story?
Maine.
In Maine. Maine would be nice.
Mississippi.
In Mississippi. Okay, now, so we understand about setting. Setting can be, what we just discovered was that the setting of a story can be anywhere, right? It can even be in your home. And how would you come up with some story ideas? What's a good way? Do you know how to come up with story ideas?
To look around the world and think.
Yes, look around the world and just think about things. Go ahead, Michael, one more.
Imagination.
Using your imagination. You know what's a good way to come up with ideas? Sometimes dreams, right? Isn't that sometimes a good way to come up with ideas? Because you dream something the night before and then you say, wow, that would make a great story, right? All right, well, you kids, I guess we're going to wrap up this episode of the Story Train. I want to thank everybody at home, and I'm very happy to be here in Taunton for this episode. And with Mrs. Moros's 3rd grade class from the Hopewell Elementary School, I guess I'll have a seat. And what I'd like you all to do is wave. You don't need to get up, just wave to everybody. And, excuse me, I would like everyone to say, Story Train! Story Train! All right!